It is the Moment of Clarity podcast for XXL. It's Shaheem, Vanessa, and Shy Glizzy. Rahman couldn't make it today. Some other responsibilities, but here we are. And Shy, I know you usually have some good questions to kick things off. What do you want to start talking to Shy Glizzy about?
Shoot, they gotta call me Shy Glizzy for this one, man.
Right, Shy Glizzy, not even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shy, where are you?
Are you?
I'm out in LA right now.
Yeah, it looked like you in front of like a green screen or something.
Yeah, that's the virtual background they got on Zoom.
You can upload your own backgrounds and stuff, right?
Yeah, that's
So it's
cool.
Glizzy gang back there?
Yeah, for sure.
Good.
What
Shy, we got to do that next.
I know. I gotta give me I might get me a little wrestling ring or something in the back.
Yeah, put a wrestling ring. Shy actually uploaded bookshelves in the background.
Yeah.
DVDs in the background. Okay, what have you been watching in quarantine? We talk a lot TV on here. What have you been watching on quarantine, Glizzy?
I've been watching I watch Ozark, Money Heist, a bunch of Netflix, a lot of classic movies. There's a new one on there called Waco. I like that one a lot.
Yeah, I saw. I was just seeing that. They said there was like 16, 18 million new subscribers on Netflix since this quarantine happened.
Yeah.
They're making a fortune over there, I guess.
Wow.
Good quarantine is good business for streaming services, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Tiger King did
64 million, right?
Million.
65 million. Yeah, I was reading. They must have had the same breaking news today. So 65 million people watched Tiger King. That's insane.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah,
and then went to the computer and Googled about it, you know?
I'm on Ozark too. I just finished the first season, and I'm like 1 or 2 episodes in the season 2, so I gotta catch up.
That's a nice one right there.
I gotta catch up, man. Ironically, you put out a record called Lonely Vibes, man. So is quarantine a lonely situation for you, or how are you quarantining?
Yeah, it was a lonely situation for me, man. I was just, and ironically, I already had the song recorded a few weeks before this moment even happened. So we was gonna drop something else on the more more up tempo. Then we was like, man, this perfect for this. This perfect for this. So that's how that came about. I had lost one of my homies previously to the pandemic.
To the pandemic, I'm sorry.
Wow, it's serious, man. I was talking to legendary producer D. Angeletti this morning, man, and he lost somebody, and close friend of mine lost his mother-in-law. It's a lot of people that's being lost to this pandemic, man. I'm very concerned about my brothers and sisters, and I got like real family in Atlanta, and they opening Atlanta back up. I'm super worried about it because I don't think it's time.
Not yet.
No.
Yeah, I think it's too premature to be opening everything back up, man. We got to get this under control.
Yeah.
Shy Glizzy, what do you think about the politics and everything, and Trump and all the things going on, and the mayors and the governors? Do you keep track of all the news on it, or you're not interested? What's your take? I mean, it's unprecedented time.
I'm kind of in and out. I'm kind of in and out. I just see like sometimes on the TV when I flip through or on whatever pop up on Instagram, but I'm not really heavy into that. I don't know. I really like Trump as overall. Like he don't know how to run this country, but some of the governors been making smart decisions by trying to keep the towns on lockdown, and with this whole quarantine thing, I feel like it was a good idea because at first Trump was just kind of like, it was up in the air with him at first.
Yeah, it's definitely. My dog started barking, so I put it on mute for a second, and then I start talking and forget it, but I can't shut the dogs up sometime. It's wild times. I mean, you see the governor and governors and the or some of the governors and the president not get along and not be on the same page and
Uh-huh.
they arguing with each other. And we're all sitting here going, do I have a good governor or a bad governor? Like
Yeah.
I hope my state has a good governor, I thought we're in New York, so we think Cuomo's a star right now, I think. But Newsom in California, where you're at now, has been doing a great job as well. So you feel a
Mm-hmm.
little bit safe when you know that you got a kind of like somewhat of a leader that's helping you out.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely. What have you been doing? How much recording have you actually been doing? You have a studio in the house? Are you sneaking in
Um,
the studio? Most
nah,
rappers say they're sneaking in.
I've been at the studio maybe twice since this been going on the last 2 months, but I really just been staying safe, staying at home, and like not really trying to be around people and practicing social distancing. Been on live a lot and just watching movies, like I said, and working on new business plans for when I come up out of this.
All right, so give us a little sneak peek on your business plan. What does that mean?
I'm trying to build a studio back at home right now and a restaurant also in DC.
Oh, that'd be great. What
That's
kind of
good.
restaurant?
It
A
gotta be that
seafood
good
restaurant. I'm
seafood,
a
man.
pescatarian.
That's what I'm saying. Gotta get that good seafood in DC.
Good seafood restaurant. But when everybody
They
comes
right
down, they
across
can
from
come check it
B-Mall.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, they right across from B-Mall. Get them good crab cakes, that shrimp, that lobster.
Everything. Hey,
You know
everything.
what I'm saying?
Shall be down there to do a review.
Yeah, for sure.
First, first, first one. First one, man. How do you feel about? I know you just dropped the record, man, but some artists we speak to are excited about putting out full projects during this time. Some artists, like we had Lil Yachty on not too long ago, and he was kind of trepidatious about putting a full length project out in this time where
hmm
everybody's home. Like, what do you feel about that? Where do you stand on that?
I'm kind of wishy-washy with that. I feel like people locked in, but I also feel like it's so much content coming out each week that I don't know. It hasn't been reacting how everyone thought that it would react. It's still reacting heavy, but it's not really like a big deal. I feel like with my project personally, I feel like I need to get back outside because I need it to be more. I don't know. I need it to be bigger than what's going on right now.
Yeah, so you think the quarantine is kind of hampering the
Yeah, kind of, but I'm gonna still keep putting out singles throughout the quarantine.
I mean, you could think of it both ways. It could get
But
everybody's
full length
attention because they're home, or
project,
it could not.
yeah, it's kind of a tricky situation.
Mm.
yeah. I mean, yeah, it's no way to put your finger on it, man. I think the people that have really figured everything out is Swiss and Timberland.
Mhm.
They're calling the market right now.
Yeah,
Play
for
hit
sure.
records that are proud and proven over 20 years, over 20 years or so. Play those records. Did you watch those
Yeah.
beat battles? Are you going to say that you're too young for them, or were you into them?
Yeah, I check in on them like this. Scott Storch and Manny Fresh, and then now they got the Teddy Riley and Babyface thing going on. It's everywhere. So like, I feel like the young and the youth and the older people are tuned in. Like they're doing an excellent job at that right now, especially with giving people history. Like some of these kids aren't even 20 years old, so it's like them going on those lives and saying it. It's like that's big.
Are you gonna tap in with some of these people to give you some beats or whatever? That
I've
shit
been
ain't.
in the lab with Tim already, like early on in my career. Like he a good homie. He from DMV, so
Right.
Timberland cool. I love to like Pharrell, Swiss of course.
Yeah,
That's
but I'm thinking like you and Teddy Riley or something. Or
Me and Teddy Riley.
yeah,
Man, we can make it happen. Man, it's an honor to work with any of them guys. So like whichever one, for real. I'm gonna tell my
What about,
management and get on that ASAP.
oh yeah, man. What about on the artist side, man? Anybody that you looking forward to working with on the actual artist side?
Man, I'm the biggest Wayne fan, so it's like, of course, Wayne. That's like my number one guy I want to work with. Jigga, Drake. I pretty much work with everybody else below like the level of them. I don't have a Future record yet, so Future. I'm a big Future fan.
Yeah.
You should do the one.
You, your career, man, you've been able to either participate on records that as a guest feature or make them yourself, man. Some big records, just early on in your career. Like, what's the next level where you're looking to actually take it, man? Are you looking to make like that big blockbuster single? You want to get like just that universally acclaimed classic record? Like, what's the next level where you
Yeah,
trying to
I'm
take
looking to make that classic album next. After this mixtape, of course, I'm about to drop this mixtape, Young Hefe 3. But I'm also like just in a more CEO space than a lot of other artists. So like that been a pro for my career that, you know, I have, even if I haven't, like been as big as these other artists or been on the platforms that I've been on some big platforms, but like I still got a lot of growing to do too. So it's like just me being in a CEO status and structuring a deal where it's like I'm majority independent is like it was a win-win situation for me. And I'm looking to build up, like my brand as a CEO and Glizzy Gang, showing out DC and my culture all over the globe within these next couple years, the next year or two, really. I'm signing my first artist through 300 right now, and yeah, just coming with that next classic hit single, and then like that's gonna be give me a whole different type of attention. Whereas though I'm gonna be able to have the focus on me that I need to bring that classic album to life.
So tell
Yeah.
us about the roster and tell us about the label. How do you go about putting the deal together? And you said you had one artist signed, or what? Tell us a little bit about where Glizzy Gang's at.
Right now I'm about to sign my first artist with 300. We got the paperwork already rolling, but I really just try to get these kids as much the fairest deal possible. Um, and like I got a deal where I'm big on my freedom, and like always I really got ownership of everything that I do. So like I'm real big on ownership the same way Nip was, or like Master P and people like that. So I'm trying to teach whoever under me to do that and not just make money off these artists and things like that. Like really see them win and grow as an artist and in their career, and hopefully they do the same thing and reward me for doing that for them, instead of just looking like, oh, I want to sign you to make money off you because you hot. Just really teach them the game, because I feel like I ain't had no one to do that for me. Like none of these artists wanted to do that for me. They just wanted to sign me, take my pub, take this. Like, I don't want your pub. You can have your pub. You can do this. Like, I'm teaching them that type of thing. So
How do you feel about artists that sign bad contracts? On this Chicago Bulls documentary that just said on Sunday, it's called The Last Dance. A
mm-hmm.
lot of national news has been made about they disclosed Scottie Pippen, who was arguably the second best player in the NBA at the time, where he made
Mm-hmm.
18 million over 7 years. Um, for an NBA player that of his stature, that was relatively low, but it was a contract that he signed, and
Mm-hmm.
he had to live up to the terms of it. We see that so much in hip hop. We see that so much in music, period. But even with Megan Thee Stallion, who also has dealings with 300. Um,
Mhm.
she talked about signing a bad contract just recently. How do you
Mhm.
feel about artists with bad contract that they actually sign? Should it be something renegotiated or something they should just have to stick to?
I feel like you gotta stick to it because you gotta stand on what like what you was offering, like the terms that you agreed to. I don't really feel like it's a thing where the negotiation is a big part. I feel like the beginning of it is really the main thing, because so you won't have to go back and renegotiate. Like some people are more willing to give up a lot of themselves at the beginning because they know like they don't have nothing, and I don't know, like some people believe in those people more than they believe in themselves.
Right.
And once those people start to get hot, they forget like, like these people really believe in you. Like, so it's like,
So if you believed in yourself more earlier on, you might not have gotten
yeah,
into that
like
messed
I
up
feel like
contract. Yeah.
if you had a high faith and high standards like for yourself, then off the rip, you wouldn't even been in that type of situation. Like
Right.
this person felt like, I can extend my arm to you, and you felt like I needed that help. So you gotta, like go through them terms, and then whatever else, like it don't matter how talented you is. Like you needed this person at the time. I feel like you should follow through on that as a woman, as a man. However, you should stand on that. That's how I feel.
Right.
Some people that's just so ignorant to the game, man, and you know, on the flip side of it, man, sometimes they meet these people and you know, 300. I know you've had to deal with Leo Cohen, Kevin Love, two of the greatest executives that we've ever seen, and you know, um, I really haven't heard a lot of stories about people having bad contracts with those guys.
Mm-hmm.
Those are two guys that are well loved by a lot of artists, man. But a lot of executives are not like that. A lot of executives are definitely not loved by a lot of people in the game, man. How did you kind of get your literacy when it comes to the contracts and things of that nature?
Um, See, I was always a big fan of like Kevin and Leo. I was seeing them in the Rockefeller docks and stuff like that. I'm like, I always admired like the greatest of the game, Master P's and the Bearmans and the Jay-Z's, and I just always seen them big movements, and I'm like, man, that got to be Glizzy Gang for DC. So I was coming across like all types of people, and then they was forming this company, and then so happily I was like the first, second person they was reaching out to, and I'm like, damn, it's an honor to be in this situation. And I had a good lawyer at the time that was standing me right, and she was advising me because I ain't have a manager. Like I'm just getting a manager in my whole career just now, like just last year, this year. So I ain't have a manager. I'm just going to sit down with these folks, and I know there's some big dogs, but everybody else wanted to take everything from me and offer me millions of dollars. They just wanted to help me. They came to me like straight up. They didn't come to me like they gave me many options like, man, we trying to make you a boss. They came to my hood, my city, everything. Like Leo pulled up to my house. I had a broken foot. He like, no, we gotta get this done. Cause Kevin had came weeks previous to that to my hood, studio, everything, kicked it with my homies by himself. So he was like, man, this guy's a young boss. Leo came to my doorstep like, man, we're gonna make you a boss. And I really felt in my heart, like, like these people really had my best interest. So I'm like, it ain't even about the money at this time. Like, we structured a good deal where as though like I'm still have complete ownership and I'm still a boss. And I'm like, okay, they do more than what I even have on paper. So I'm like, okay, it's bigger than just music with them over there at 300. I don't know. Like, I just felt like it was right for me. And then just being in that situation years and years and years with no help and having to do things on my own and sit at the table by myself, it molded me into a bigger boss and gave me more knowledge. than what I walked into the building with. So that's how I able to tell kids what's going on now, or able to feel what I feel now.
So you in good shape as far as financially. I just saw Joyner Lucas put up a post where he talked about independence versus major labels, and how a lot of the independent artists at this certain juncture, with this whole COVID thing, really making more money than the people that's signed to majors, just because of how the deals are structured, man. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
about that.
Nah, I do believe that, because I just got a fact check last quarter, and I'm still getting more money from TuneCores and all other types of things. So I feel like my money don't stop. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't really know how the major label systems work to speak on that, because I've never been in that situation. But I don't really have a problem when it comes to getting my money. Like, I just make money in my sleep being an independent artist and having so much freedom from getting all my tours, or I meant not my tours, my merch, or I can still sell my merch. I don't have to go through the label, and like, I still just have money flowing in other places that the label ain't even got. My distribution deal has nothing to do with.
Have you been most? What artists have you been? Independent artists have you been most influenced by? Who have you watched and said I'd model my career after that?
Probably Master P. I really want to do some stuff like him. I just feel like he had more structure than I did. Like, I never had the structure, so now I'm just newly managed by Blueprint Group, and I just restructured my thing at 300. So it's like I'm coming with a whole new energy this year, with a whole new structure. I'm looking for artists now, and my music just growing and stuff like that. So I feel like that's always a vision that I had, or maybe a bad boy vision too. That's a good example too. Like, finding that next street artist. I always been a guy that work with these artists first. Like, a lot of artists that's someone now, I was working with these guys early on. So I feel like I got a good ear for that. Just finding artists and being a CEO is like really more important to me
Would
than
you rather be the rap star or the star
the
CEO?
CEO.
The
The
CEO,
CEO
yeah,
for
CEO.
sure.
I said the CEO, the CEO. So that's more important to you. So would you retire completely or always rap?
Yeah. Um, it depends. I probably always rap, because I feel like I'm cool enough to always rap.
Yeah. We did an interview with Little Bibby a few months ago, a year ago, I don't remember. And he said he hadn't rapped in like 4 years. He was enjoying being a CEO,
Yeah.
And not that you have to do that, but it's interesting what you kind of stumble into. And I think it was even Ghazi from Empire the other day. I might be giving him credit for no reason, but I think he said like there's too many rappers, not enough CEOs. It's not
Mhm.
like you have to split one or the other, but we do meet a lot of guys. And back in the day, they used to being the CEO was part of being the star too. I
Mhm.
mean, Birdman then rapped after, or
Yeah.
Puffy, like there was a lot more bosses back then. So it'd be kind of cool to see some of those star CEOs again right now, rapping or
For
not,
sure.
but just to have kind of that leadership I don't think we've had that as much in the recent past.
Mhm.
But that used to be a thing where it was like, that like, most powerful players in the game had a lot of different CEO heads that weren't execs from the major labels, were
Yeah.
from the boutique labels and the independent labels and stuff. So it'd be cool to see that. I recommend Tech Nine. He is one of the biggest beasts in the independent lane of what he and
Okay.
Strange Music have built up. And
Mhm.
we did a video, but there's a lot of other videos online, but I recommend ours, of course, on our YouTube channel. But when you go and you see what Strange Music has built up between
Mhm.
Tech Nine and his partner Travis O'Gwin, it's like nothing I've ever seen any major label have. And they went as far as to the fact that they own everything, and they also own their studios, own the tour buses, own the bus wrap company that wraps the tour buses that
Yeah.
advertise, owns the machines that make their merch, owns the merch. What they went to the level of what they did independently, and the money that make off of it when you go down and visit their facility in Kansas City, or I think it's the Lee Summit, blows your mind. And you walk around and you say, the only thing I ever saw that was anything close to it was what Snoop Dogg's facility was like,
The
and that was Snoop Dogg. But that Tech Nine's indie story is one that I highly recommend to everybody, because if you want to talk about just figuring out how to do everything yourself, and having support system within it, but still just some people who really figured it all out. There's nobody like that. And it's inspiring. I recommend it. I think it's an inspiring story over there. So, but whoever you were influenced by, they're all been pretty important to the independent game.
No, for sure.
I do think majors play a role because, a lot of the big stars that you spoke about collaborating with, whether it be Drake or Wayne or Jay-Z, right? They came with major label backgrounds as well. So sometimes I think people get confused, and not you, but people in general think, well, indie because fuck a major and blah, blah, blah. But a lot of times the major label wants you to be a star because that's how they make money. So they do highly believe in you and support you. Sometimes it's not always the greatest fit, but I do think for some people it is the right fit. It really is kind of a case-by-case artist, what kind of artist are you and where do you flourish,
No, I feel the same way.
What took you so long to get a manager, man? And how did you function without one for so long?
I felt like I was running across a bunch of people that was like just not keeping it honest with me, and I don't know, it was just an intuition thing more so with me. I was working with Coach early on. He used to advise me on a lot of things. We wasn't locked in on paper or nothing, but I know I could call him up, and I had strong relationships in the game, so that's what it mostly was. I had relationships with almost everybody because everybody wanted to manage me or sign me to something, so it was like I was calling these folks for advice or whatever it was.
Do you feel like you get good advice? I mean, even from them, do you feel?
I feel like some of them, but some of them no.
Yeah.
Some people no, and like some I don't know. It's just not a genuine game. It's a crazy game. This hip hop thing.
Did you think that you always knew that, or that was something that you discovered more?
Nah, I discovered it more so through experience. Yeah, definitely. I didn't come in as knowing that it was gonna be like this.
So when we met you at freshman time, you didn't feel that way?
Maybe not. I was still fresh in it, and I was just, I don't know. I was just having a bunch of fun.
Yeah.
I was blowing money, and I was just young.
Yeah.
But now it's like, okay, I know from a financial standpoint, a business standpoint, like, I don't know. I just got a different outlook on things now.
You get a little jaded the longer you do it.
For sure.
A little bit more jaded.
For sure.
Shaw's crazy jaded. I'm just kidding. He immediately smiled. No, I'm not, All right, so what do we look out for next? We're looking out for the record label. You're going to put out some music here and there, but you haven't been recording too much
That's what's
in-house.
coming out. My tape, Young Fate 3. I'm dropping next. Right after this quarantine. Probably if it's open by June, maybe the first week of June or something we're looking at.
Good. Well, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. Hope you stay safe.
I appreciate y'all for having me.
And we will speak to you again soon. We're here for you.
For sure.
Congrats on all the deal, everything you're working on, and your new artist.
Thank you. I'm gonna be up there once this all over with.
Yeah, I hope we're there too.
For sure.
See you soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.